Hello students, welcome to our class and start our learning with Let's Learn. In a previous lecture, we started a topic chapter number 13, Carbon and Important Elements. In a previous lecture, we have studied the property of the carbon, and in that heading we have studied the allotropes of carbon. Under the allotropes of carbon there are two forms, crystalline form of carbon and non-crystalline form of carbon. In a crystalline form there are three examples. First one is a diamond, then graphite, and third one is a fullerenes. So we have studied in a previous lecture about the diamond, and today we will study the second example, graphite, crystalline form of carbon. Graphite is a crystalline form of carbon. So graphite is found in a natural state in Russia. We know the diamond is found in a natural as well as free state. Okay, but what about the graphite? Graphite is found in natural state in Russia, New Zealand, America, and India. The lead used in pencil is made by mixing graphite with clay. This process was discovered by Nicolas Jacques Conte in 1795. And this is a just basic information about the graphite. Now let's see the structure of the graphite. Each carbon atom in a graphite is bonded to three other carbon atoms in such a way that hexagonal layered structure is formed. You know, in the diamond, in case of diamond, we have studied in a diamond every carbon atom bonded with the four other atom, and we know the what is the valency of the carbon. That means in outermost shell there are four electrons. In outermost shell there are four electrons in the carbon. So every carbon atom, if every carbon atom bonded with the four carbon atoms, then they form the diamond. But in the case of graphite, here every carbon atom in a graphite is bonded to three other carbon atom. Just see the diagram here. A graphite crystalline, then students, here the every carbon atom is bonded to the other three atoms. That means here one electron is free. Understand? Because in outermost shell there are four electrons. There are total four electrons. But in a structure of the graphite, here every carbon atom bonded to nearby three carbon atoms. So that's why each atom one electron is free. Okay, so a graphite crystal is made of many sheets or layer of carbon. Here the graphite crystal is made of in a form of sheet or in form of layer, one layer, then other layer, then third layer, fourth layer, in this way. Okay, this is made of in form of sheet or layers. This layers slip over each other on applying pressure. That means the first layer, that is on a one layer. So the first layer, the above layer, applied the pressure on the below layer. Clear? One layer of graphite is called the graphene. One layer of graphite is called the graphene. Okay, so this is a structure of the carbon. Here let's see, here every carbon atom bonded with the three. Let's consider this carbon atom. This carbon atom, this is bonded with other three atom. Okay, so this carbon atom bonded with the 1, 2 and again 3. Okay, this carbon atom 1, 2 and 3. But in every atom one electron is free. One electron is free. Okay, so what happened if one electron free? So let we study it further. Here one activity, but in the course this is reduced. This part of try this is reduced from our syllabus for this year. So just we'll go through our textbook and move on next heading. So I request you, dear students, please open your textbook. Okay, open your textbook and page number 140. So next heading is properties of the graphite. You have to learn all the properties and uses. You have to learn the properties of diamond, graphite and fullerenes. All the three properties. Okay. Then the properties of the graphite. First property, graphite found in a nature is black, soft, brittle and slippery. You know what is the color of lead of your pencil? Check it. Yes, that is black color. Then inside each layer of graphite, free electrons move continuously within the entire layer. Yes, because in a graphite, in the structure of graphite, each carbon atom bonded with nearby 3 atoms. So that's why one electron is free and move continuously within entire layers. And so that's the reason graphite is a good conductor of electricity. Next property, due to the layered structure, graphite can be used for writing on paper. Because of this structure, graphite is used for writing on the paper. The next property, the density of graphite is 1.9 to 2.3 gram per centimeter cube. Learn this property. Graphite does not dissolve in most solvents. Most of the solvents, graphite does not dissolve. So these was the properties of the graphite. Clear? Then uses, where graphite is used. So first, graphite is used for making lubricants, for making carbon electrodes. It is used in pencil for writing. It is used in paints and polish. It is used in arc lamp, which give a very bright light. So these was the uses of graphite. I hope you understood. Okay, if you have any query, you can message me. Okay. Then next form of carbon, next crystalline form of carbon is fullerenes. What about fullerenes? Fullerenes, an allotrope of carbon, is rarely found in nature. Yes, it is rarely found. It is found in soot and in interstellar space. The first example of fullerenes is Buckminster fullerenes. Here two types of fullerenes. First one is a Buckminster fullerene and second type is a buckyball. Okay, there are two types, but here in your textbook, here one example is given, that is a Buckminster. So underline this word, the Buckminster fullerenes, and the molecular formula is C60. That means, what is the meaning of C60? That means here the 60 carbon atom form this compound. When a 60 carbon join with each other, combine with each other, they form the fullerenes. And this allotropes of carbon is named fullerenes after the architect Richard Buckminster Fuller. Yes, the architecture Buckminster Fuller, because the structure of C60 resembles the structure of geodesic dome he designed. You know what is a dome? The dome is the upper structure of any building or any temple. Clear? So that's like a dome. The structure of the appearance of C60. That means the Buckminster fullerenes. Clear? Then Harold Kroto, Robert Kerr and Richard Smalley were given a Nobel Prize in Chemistry 1996 for the discovery of this carbon allotropes fullerenes C60. Because of the discovery of this compound, these scientists Harold Kroto, Robert Kerr and Richard Smalley were given the Nobel Prize. Yes. Then again some examples, C60, C70 or C76, C82 and C86. These are the examples of different examples of fullerenes, and their molecules occur in a small number in SU. So you can see here the appearance, the structure of the fullerenes. Clear? This is like a football. This is like a football. Clear? And in a football, just check if you have any football, then check the structure of the upper surface of the football. There are some patches where the 5 corners, just like here, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 or 6. Okay, one patch having a 6 corner and other patch having a 5 corner, just like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a 6. Okay, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 6 corners and 5 corners. So just observe the appearance of football if you have. Now next, move on next heading, that is properties and uses. So first property, molecules of a fullerenes are found in the form of buckyball, okay, and a bucky tube like this, just buckyball and like this bucky tube. Then there are 30 to 900 carbon atoms in the one molecule of fullerene. That means this is a very big compound. Fullerenes are soluble in organic solvent, okay, such as a carbon disulfide and chlorobenzene. Clear? Then uses. It is used in an insulator. Fullerenes are used as a catalyst in water purification. Students, you know what is an insulator? That do not allow to pass the electric current. That substance is called the insulator. So fullerenes are used as an insulator also, and fullerenes are used as a catalyst in water purification. At a certain temperature, fullerenes exhibit the superconductivity. So in the 3 types of the carbon, the crystal form of carbon, there are a diamond, then graphite, then fullerenes. So here graphite is also a good conductor of electricity. But what about fullerenes? At a specific temperature, it depends on the temperature. At a specific temperature, at a certain temperature, fullerenes exhibit the superconductivity. Okay, and what about diamond? Diamond is not a good conductor of electricity. That is a bad conductor of electricity. Clear? Then next one is a non-crystalline form of carbon. Okay, a non-crystalline form, or it is also called the amorphous form. So dear students, this topic I will explain in the next lecture. So I hope you understood today's lecture, and I requested write down all the 3 examples of the crystalline form of carbon, that is diamond. Write down the structure of diamond, where it is found, property and uses. Again, number 2, graphite, where the graphite is found, structure of graphite, properties of graphite and uses of graphite. And then third heading, fullerenes, where it is found, and the structure of fullerenes, examples of fullerenes, properties and uses. And rest we will see in the next lecture. Thank you very much.